Yo, what's going on, people? This is Shok. I apologize for, this not being a cam vid, another vid we have to deal with my garbage mic quality. But for this video, this is pretty much a necessity for me. This is pretty much required because this is a response to Hardate, and I'm going to be on VG charts as you can see, and I'm going to be, looking at the sales and pointing them out to you guys and things of that nature. And to Hardate, at first I was going to come out with this, sarcastic, douchebag, smartass video response. But I was like, you know what? For once, Hardate wasn't trolling. He wasn't being a prick in his video. For once he was serious. He came out, he raised a legitimate question, and he made sensible points. You see what I'm saying? So in no way was that video bad. But the whole video was off. And I know you guys are going to say, how was that video off? He was using facts the whole time. He was using numbers. You guys are right. He was using numbers. The numbers were absolutely correct. But his perception of the numbers were not. Let me explain. A bunch of points I'm going to make in this video. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. But for those of you who did not watch the video, basically the main point he was saying was that, Nintendo fans come out and say, oh, when the next 3D Mario comes out, and Zelda, the Wii U is gonna, the sales are gonna be just fine. The sales are gonna pick back up or whatnot. They're gonna skyrocket. And Hardate's whole point was, well, how is that? How can we say that when Skyward Sword just sold 3.61 million? He said, how can you say that when the last 3D Mario platformer just sold 7 million? Right here, Super Mario Galaxy 2. A bunch of things wrong with that, Hardate. Okay, firstly, can somebody tell me since when was 7 million units sold a low number? Since when was 7 million not considered system seller status? You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. If we're going to come in here with that kind of logic, then I could go over here to Uncharted and be like, oh, the Uncharted games sold less than Super Mario Galaxy 2. So since Super Mario Galaxy 2 isn't a system seller, I guess the Uncharted games weren't. Not to mention bundles. So these numbers are a tad bit inflated. Oh, I guess God of War isn't a system seller because it didn't sell anywhere near 7 million, right? Now, if you're going to sit here and say, whoa, Galaxy 2 is a system seller. I wasn't saying it wasn't. Well, if you're going to sit here and admit that it is a system seller, then what's your point of saying that it only sold 7 million to begin with, as if that was bad? You see what I'm saying? Now, Hardate's whole thing is, right, Galaxy 2 sold a lot less than Galaxy 1. And, like I said in the beginning of the video, his numbers were absolutely correct, but him and your guys' perception of the numbers are not, because after I had replied to him in the comment section of the video, we Skyped, and he told me that originally he thought these 3D Mario games were selling over freaking 20 million. And I was like, no! Super Mario 64 sold 11.89 million. Nowhere close. You see what I'm saying? So while you guys will say like, oh, whoa, what? I saw some people in the comment section, saying, what, 7 million for a 3D Mario? Isn't that extremely low for a 3D Mario? Not really. Look at Super Mario Sunshine. Where's it at? Let me type it in. Because when you type in Mario, VG charts, a bunch of games, because Mario has a shit ton of games. Sunshine sold 6.31 million, right? So 7 million, that's not abnormal. You see what I'm saying? That's not abysmal compared to the max that Mario has been at. You see what I mean? Over to Zelda. Here's the thing. And for those of you who don't know, Hardate's whole video is pretty much a video response to me. Because it was pretty much in response to a conversation we had the other day in Skype. Now, he was saying that I couldn't use Wii Motion Plus and Skyward Sword coming out near the end of the Wii's life cycle as an excuse as to why it only sold 3.6 million. But here's what you guys gotta realize. I'm not saying that just to damage control the sales. I'm not making baseless statements, baseless excuses. Not to mention, since when did excuses Since when did an excuse become something invalid? I don't know why people turn excuses out to be something that's invalid. If I say, "Sorry, professor, I missed class because my mom died," is that not a valid excuse? You see what I'm saying? There is such thing called valid excuses, people. But anyways, the reason why I use Wii Motion Plus exclusivity and coming out near the end of the Wii's life cycle, the reason why I use that as an excuse as to why Skyward Sword only sold 3.61 is because look just below it, Majora's Mask. How much did that sell? 3.36 million, less than Skyward Sword. I'm sure you guys see where I'm getting at right here. These two games are the exact same thing. Why? Skyward Sword required Motion Plus. Majora's Mask required the expansion pack. And then, look at that, 2011, the last year of the Wii. Wii U came out 2012. Majora's Mask, 2000, the GameCube came out 2001. Exactly. And that's why I use coming out at the end of the life cycle and having a peripheral required to play it. That's why I use it as an excuse, not to just damage control, but because of history. Because that's the exact same situation we had with Majora's Mask. Now here's another point I want to make. Notice, Ocarina of Time is the pinnacle, is the peak of the Zelda franchise. See what I'm saying? So, and look at that, it's only 7.6 million. So I don't know how much you guys thought Zelda games sold. Because apparently, like Hard8 said with Mario, he thought the 3D Marios were selling over 20 million. So I guess him and you guys thought that the Zelda games were doing the same thing. But that's the thing. They haven't. They haven't. Yes, Zelda is one of the most renowned gaming franchises ever, but it's never hit 10 million or above. Never got anywhere close, as you can see. Now, this came out in 1998. Again, the peak of the Zelda franchise, when it was most popular, when it was kicking the most ass, right? 2 years later, 2000 Majora's Mask, it goes from 7.6 million to 3.36 million. Why is that? Exactly. For the same reasons I listed for Skyward Sword. Exposed. Now, Hard8's whole point, his main point in that video was, why can we expect these games to move the Wii U when they come out when, Skyward Sword sold lowly, right? And Mario Galaxy sold less than the first game did, and Mario 64 then did. Well, let's look at Wind Waker, right? Okay, so Ocarina of Time sells 7 million. Majora's Mask sells 3 million. Oh man, Zelda's becoming unpopular. Nobody's caring about it anymore. It's getting stagnant. Nobody cares. It's dropping off. Here's the decline. The very next Zelda game, Wind Waker, all of a sudden, it jumps up to 4.60 million. The very next Zelda game after that, bam, Twilight Princess, 6.74 million. No, actually, that's just the Wii version. The GameCube version sold how much? Right here, 1.6 million. So pretty much the same amount, like more than Ocarina of Time did. Actually, altogether, combining both platforms. So, you see the point I'm making here, right? This destroys Hard8's video completely. Because he's saying that these games were on a decline from their past installments when that's been happening this whole entire time, right? Going from 7.60 to 3.36. Oh, nobody cares about the Zelda franchise. 4.60. You could even argue, yeah, it went up, but that's still low compared to the 7.6. But then the next installment sells more than 7.6 million. But I thought the popularity was declining. I thought it was stagnating. I thought it wasn't going to move units anymore. Exactly. The same thing with Mario. Mario 64 sold 12 million, right? Sunshine sold 6.31 million. Oh, nobody cares about 3D Mario anymore because Sunshine sold almost half than Mario 64 did. Yet we go up here to Mario Galaxy. Where is it? Where the hell is it? Mario Galaxy, where is it? 11, oh, no, not 11.9. 10.71. Almost the same number that it did in 1996 and 2007. Exactly. So Hardate, to answer your question, can we expect the next Zelda and Mario 3D Mario to move units? Yes. And I just explained to you why. You had your numbers right, Hardate, but your perception of them was wrong, and all you had to do was look at the surrounding numbers of these games. You see what I'm saying? That's all you had to do. All you had to do was look below and be like, wait, these numbers are fluctuating. That happens. Numbers fluctuate all the time. That doesn't mean a series is becoming less popular. I mean, in some cases it could mean that, but because a number fluctuates, that doesn't mean that, and I just showed you proof that it doesn't. Again, Skyward Sword and Majora's Mask, exact same situation. So can us Nintendo fans expect Zelda Wii U and Mario in the next Mario to move systems? Hell yes we can. And again, even 3.6 million. Since when was 3.6 million bad? Since when was that not system seller status? You see what I'm saying? Like, that makes no sense at all. Now, to end this video, my last point. There's more than just Mario and Zelda. I don't know why people act as if Mario and Zelda is the only franchises Nintendo makes, because we all know the Smash Bros. Series does not move units, because Brawl moved 11.54 million, because Melee moved 7.07 million, and the original moved 5.55 million. Donkey Kong Country Returns, almost 6 million after coming back from a long time. We haven't had a real Donkey Kong game in years. It comes back out the blue, 5.89 million. Right? You see what I'm saying? And then, not to mention, Wii Sports U. What happens when that comes out? Wii Fit U. What happens when that comes out? You see what I'm saying? Stop paying so much attention to just Mario and Zelda. I mean, I already proved that, you know, they're still going to move units and sell a shit ton. But I'm just saying, like, you guys need to, you need to stop. Because that's not the only Nintendo games, that's not the only Nintendo products that sell and move units. But that's it for this video. I dragged this on long enough. Thanks for the intelligent discussion, Hardate, but at the end of the day, your video got kind of destroyed, bro. But I'll see you guys later.